The Boston Tea Party, what happened in 1773? Besides the Boston Tea Party, well, that was a pretty big deal. It was a political protest by American colonists against the British government and the British East India Company. And it all went down on December. The main thing you need to know is that the colonists were not happy with the way the British government was taxing them. They felt like they had no representation in the government and that they were being unfairly targeted. They also felt that the British government was trying to destroy the economy of the colonies by giving the East India Company a monopoly on trade. And they knew that if they didn't do something to stop it, then their rights as Englishmen would be taken away. Do you think the colonists were right to protest in such a dramatic fashion? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to stay tuned for more historical tales. And this was a big deal because it wasn't just about the tea. It was a symbolic protest against the British government and their unfair policies. The British government had passed a series of acts that the colonists considered to be tyrannical, including the Tea Act of 1773, which gave the British East India Company a monopoly on the sale of tea in the colonies. The British government sent troops to Boston to put down the rebellion, and they arrested several of the leaders of the protest, including Samuel Adams and John Hancock. But this didn't stop the colonists from fighting back. The Boston Tea Party was one of the first major acts of defiance against the British government, and it helped to spark the American Revolution. This act was meant to help the struggling company, but it also gave them the power to set prices, which they jacked up, which made the colonists even more mad. So on December, a group of colonists led by Samuel Adams and John Hancock boarded 3 ships owned by the British East India Company and dumped 92,000 pounds of tea into the Boston harbor. The colonists were angry that they had no voice in the government and that they were being taxed without representation. The reaction to the Boston Tea Party was swift and brutal. So there you have it, a brief history of the Boston Tea Party. Do you think the colonists were right to protest in such a dramatic fashion? Let me know in the comments below. And be sure to stay tuned for more historical tales.